This is Mindless Prattle in space. Not really, I'm kidding.
Thank God you specified.
But it is Mindless Prattle in our living room. I kind of feel like we're living in a Skyrim cave right now. Got a bunch of loot boxes over there.
Oh, you're going to explain. That's good. I thought we were just going to leave it there.
This is Jordan and I are in the process of moving, so we got a bunch of shit in boxes, but now I just feel like it's like a cave of hoarding treasure.
That's because all the things that you've been hoarding is now in one spot and not spread out across the apartment.
I'm not a hoarder.
I mean, you kind of are.
No, I'm not. How do I qualify as a hoarder?
Let's look it up. Let's look up the definition. All right. Definition.
No, we need a checklist. Am I a hoarder?
Someone who has a mental health condition. Yep.
Oh my god.
Causes them to keep large amounts of items. Yep. That are not needed. Yep. And or have no value. Yep. That's so weird. You fit all four parts of that description.
A hoarding disorder is characterized by persistent difficulty discarding or parting with possessions regardless of their actual value due to a perceived need to save them in distress associated with discarding them.
You want to tell me again how you don't qualify, or?
Hold on.
Okay.
This one has a quiz that you can take.
Oh, thank goodness. Let's get a BuzzFeed quizz's answer on this. I like that the dictionary definition of hoarder is just a person who hoards things.
A person that hoards things, yes. If my living areas are clear, it's only because of family members, cleaners, or others who have helped or forced me to clear out the space.
Well, that's so weird.
Hey, but this isn't... It says, my bedroom, kitchen, and our living spaces are cluttered to the point that they're practically inaccessible or difficult to use for their intended purposes. That is not true. I don't do that.
Thank goodness. You're only like an 8 on the 10 scale. We're saved.
And you're the only person who says the stuff I have is worthless, so...
That's not true. You place value on things that don't really have value, and you keep them because, like we have bags of open chips in the pantry that you don't want to eat because then you won't have the chips anymore.
Okay, that is this next one. I feel a strong urge to save items, whether for their utility, aesthetic, sentimental value, or to avoid being wasteful.
Yep. Oh, here you go. Stages of hoarding. Understand the severity and progression. 1, minimal clutter that may not be noticeable to others. No, it's noticeable. 2.
I scored a 21 out of 36.
Yep. Stage 2, noticeable clutter, such as horizontal surfaces being covered that may cause embarrassment when visitors are present. Stage 3, clutter begins to fill rooms along with odors, poor hygiene, and unusable spaces. Stage 4 is structural damage, sewage issues, infestation, and limited access to parts of the home. And 5 is severe unsanitary conditions such as fire hazard, no utilities present, and extreme indoor clutter that makes living spaces unusable. So you're like 2 working towards 3 is what you're going for.
No.
Yep.
It's not that
when
bad.
I don't throw things away, it starts to fill rooms. All right. Like, at one point, you couldn't open your nightstand because there was too much stuff in the drawers.
I just have a lot of stuff.
That you don't want to get rid of because it has value to you and only you, but not in any real sense of the word value.
But
I'm aware.
It's stuff I need.
It's not. You didn't even know that some of that stuff was in there.
Listen.
I am listening. I'm listening to our poor apartment going, please, I'd like to be clean at least once.
I clean it.
Uh-huh.
Hoarders don't clean. I clean.
No, you clean the visible areas because you know it'll be upsetting when people show up. And then I go, what's this in the closet? And you go, don't open the closet. Everything's going to fall out of there.
No, I don't do that.
There was a period of time where I couldn't see the floor in our closet for like 3 weeks.
That's because I needed to do laundry.
That's because you had a bunch of shit in there. I know what it's from. And you know what we did? We went through and we threw away clothes.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
I did that.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Take off the blanket. Getting a little hot in here with all this persecution going on, huh? I'm like, what's that? That's cat toy number 9,000 because the first 8,000 were not good enough, apparently.
Chipmunk was so picky, but now Sweet Roll plays with a bunch of those.
Oh, yeah.
She loves that catnip banana. Chipmunk did not touch it.
She's touching it. But that does not mean you need to buy 3 more toys after that, hoping that one of them is useful for her.
I just wanted her to have a good life.
She looks like she's having such a terrible life right now, yeah.
Hey. Was that sound you getting in the drawer again? At least she brought it to us.
That was the sound of one of the cats finding another one of the hair ties. I'm surprised you have some left, to be honest, because I just start throwing them away.
You did?
If I find them on the ground, I throw them away. Like, I don't know where they go. I don't know where they belong. But if they're on the ground, I consider it trash. And I throw it away.
Well, I only keep a few in the apartment because the cat has started, like,
There's
hunting
not
through drawers.
a few. I don't even know how many I've thrown away up to now.
I keep most of mine in my car, though.
Thank goodness. Is that, like, right next to the pile of syrup, or?
Okay, let's move on to a different conversation.
You know, when you move the cats, you might want to, like, deep clean the car first so they don't have to, like, sit in that syrup like you tried to make me do.
There's nothing in the back seat.
Oh, thank goodness. I'll sit in the back next time then.
I just knocked my drink over and then I forgot
never
to clean
cleaned
it up.
Yep. See, when you knock it over, that's when you should clean it up. I'm just saying.
Just open that fucking drawer.
Well, maybe if you didn't have so much stuff in there that it wouldn't close.
No, she can open it. Like, if it's fully closed. I've seen her do it. It's fucking ridiculous.
I don't believe that.
Like, do I have to cat-proof everything?
Or just train your cat better.
You train she's your cat.
No, she's been living with you longer than me.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, nothing. You want her to go down with me? We'll set some straight things. She'll be down there for like 3 days, and she'll be the best cat. She'll just sit there.
You don't want to take her without Chipmunk.
I ain't taking just one of them.
Oh, I mean, if you want to take them, you can.
I ain't taking them today.
But Sweet Roll screams if she can't see Chipmunk. Like, I took Chipmunk to the vet, and I looked at the camera to see how Sweet Roll was reacting. She was not happy, and they're a bonded pair. But, yeah, this is Mindless Prattle. Welcome to our show.
Yeah, it's going to be upsetting when one of them dies.
Why would you say that?
Oh, I'm sorry. The planet's going to die, and we're all in it, so that means we're all going to die. I thought we'd switch roles this episode. You get to be the positive one.
Let's not talk about our cats dying. I will actually have a panic attack.
Okay. The world's getting hotter. You seen that?
You're getting hotter.
Things melting. We're probably all going to drown, so that's cool.
Did you see the U.S. Navy's, like, proposed map of what they think the U.S. coastline's gonna look like?
The Navy proposed that?
I think it was the Navy. I said online the other day. But it's, like, some military branch agency. But they're, like, cut through, like, Texas. They're like, that'll probably be a new shoreline there. Goodbye, Florida.
Florida. Some of California, probably.
There's some sort of bug.
It's just there's bugs in Texas.
It's just doing weird shit. And distracted me. Okay, but we can get back to our raccoons, right?
Yeah, the raccoons will be drowning too.
Stop being depressing.
I'm sorry.
But yes, so Tesla Cybertruck is facing unexpected challenges as raccoons are attempting to break into their cars. TLDR, and a Cybertruck owner in Minnesota found their vehicle's cover, or like what they call the vault part of the Cybertruck. I don't know which part that is. I just know it looks like the dumpster. Covered in muddy raccoon paw prints. But then they're like, oh, there's one raccoon, right? Then Cybertruck owners started sharing their stories, and apparently it's a really big thing. Like, raccoons really want to get in Cybertrucks, probably because they think there's food in them.
Yeah, they look like dumpsters.
See, this guy posted a picture, he said, it's raccoon-proof now.
It's raccoon proof. Okay.
But I just thought that was so funny. I was like, out of all the other things happening with Cybertruck, now you can add raccoons want to break into them to a list. That'd be a good video game, like, mechanic, like, gangs of raccoons trying to break into stuff and rob you.
Seems kind of racist, but okay.
Why is that racist? They're raccoons.
Wow. Just because they're colored, you're just going to assume they're robbers, huh?
They're literally animals trying to break into trucks, so yes, they also like to rob people.
Raccoons don't like to rob people.
They like to rob their trash cans.
It's not robbing. They're looking for food. They're foragers. They're not like that motherfucker. He had pizza yesterday. I'm going to rob him.
Could you imagine, though? They're like watching all the houses on a block, like, all right, Dave had ribs last night. You know what time it is.
Like, I was staying at a hotel in Missouri, and I went outside, and there's a trash can outside in the parking lot, and I was going to go over and meet some friends, and there was a raccoon in the trash can, and it popped out of the trash can as I was going to throw something away, and I looked down and I was like, I guess he could have it. So I opened it was a little to-go like box container thing. So I opened it up and I gave it to him, and he took it, and then he looked over and he put it on top of the trash can, and he started eating like what was left of the chicken wings and was throwing them in the trash can after he was done. I was like, good job, buddy.
A smart little guy,
I
no
walked
littering.
off. Yeah, he's just like tossing them in there. I'm like, all right, man.
He's like, that's where the humans put the trash. That's where I'll put the trash.
That was pretty funny. And then later I saw there was another one in the parking lot, and he came over and he chased off that first one, and he tried getting up onto the trash can, but he was a little too fat, so he couldn't really get up there all the way. And I was like, man, you scared away my little trash can buddy. So then I chased him, and he ran over and tried to get into like a little sewer grate. She's got more trash. And
What is that?
well, tried to get into a little sewer grate, but again, he was too fat, so he got stuck.
I think it's a feather from one of their toys.
He got stuck trying to go into the gate, or like the grate, with like his two little back feet were just sticking out for a second, and then he finally got through and was like, poop, and I was like,
That's so cute.
Go away, you fatty.
I follow this lady on TikTok.
No good. I was about to say that's kind of stalkerish, but all right.
On TikTok, she has a raccoon she feeds. She named her Dan. Dan is a female raccoon with only 3 legs. And she just started taking care of her because she noticed the other raccoons would bully the 3-legged raccoon, probably because they thought it was weak and gonna die or some shit. But so now she feeds Dan, and Dan just had babies and brought them to meet the lady that takes care of her.
Animals do that shit a lot. They're like, oh, I've been getting food here and I got babies. I'll bring the babies too.
Yeah, I've seen some where, it's
seen
not...
like swans do it, or like geese.
Yeah, I've seen
Geese will
one
do it
that's,
too.
it's not raccoons, but there's another person who does that with foxes.
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
just 20 foxes will show up in her yard.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
hello.
yeah, I've seen that, because like one fox ran. Did you see the theory that like foxes are trying to domesticate themselves?
As they should. I saw a
That was
description
funny.
of foxes, and it was like, foxes are like if you took dog hardware and put cat software in it.
Pretty much, yeah. And then I mean, some of them are not nice, but most of the videos you see, even when they bite like a little, they don't bite like
They
hard
nibble.
or anything. Same with coyotes. I don't think coyotes are as like fun to be with, but
No, they're very territorial, and they like to eat dogs. That was like my parents' number one concern when we moved to Vegas. They were like, "Oh my god, the chihuahua's
Coyotes
gonna
eating
get eaten by a
dogs.
coyote, or a hawk's
I
gonna
would
come."
say the hawks are more likely than a coyote. Like, yeah,
It's part of the reason we always had big dogs around with the little dogs. So
that don't matter. That big dog ain't gonna do shit when a hawk flies off with the little one. Like, oh, it went that way.
I mean, I
All
saw
right.
it. I saw a video of a cat attack a coyote the other day that was trying to get this person's little dog.
Yeah.
This little cat beat the fuck out of that coyote.
They
I just hear her bells go off sometimes, and I'm like, the cat's up to mischief.
yeah. I saw a video of a lady who has like a screened-in porch, and a hawk, I guess, got caught in there somehow. So she's filming with one hand, and she goes, "Let me get you out of here, buddy." And she like grabs it with the other hand, and like starts walking it out, and is like trying to set it on this like fence post outside the screen door. But it's just so in disbelief that it's like, don't do anything, don't move. Like it won't stand up on its own until finally she just like sets it there and lets it go, and it starts falling, and then finally like rights itself and then just flies off. But it's the funniest little face it's got. It's like so surprised that it's caught somehow. It's like,
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that actually. But they both have a look of surprise is the one I've seen. Like the bird and the fish are like,
oh, I haven't seen a fish. But...
oh, I thought this is what you were talking about. I can show you
No,
the picture.
Oh yeah, no.
It's like both the bird and the fish are like, what?
He's like, what? How did I get caught?
That's funny. Yeah, no, I just, it reminded me of that though. Okay. Did you take any notes this week on what you want to talk about, or can I just keep trudging along?
I don't care. Why you got to interrupt yourself always with things like that?
Because I don't want to like speak over.
Just go.
Okay, so mundane Halloween.
Anyway, so we have what?
Don't be
That's not
rude.
Rude. It's accurate. It's lore accurate is what it is.
But so I learned about this on I watched this YouTuber
Proud of you.
called Rotten Mango. And
less proud.
She's got a bunch of different channels. One of them's like true crime. One of them she'll describe books like Avatar to you, but she'll read it as if she's telling a true crime story. So she'll be like, this guy kept his wife locked up in the mansion for a year. And then just she tells the book like it's true crime. It's so fun. But I did not know in Japan they do mundane Halloween where they dress up as like highly specific costumes instead of like Little Red Riding Hood.
I feel like Little Red Riding Hood was a specific example. He could have said like instead of ghosts, but all right.
Well, like, you know, in Little Red Riding Hood, like as a character, but they dress up as like, let me open this in X because apparently I can't just look at things.
It's Twitter. It's fine. You don't have to conform to that.
So like this one is a factory worker who wore a helmet all day and has helmet hair. Person trying to go viral with a video of a cat riding a Roomba.
Uh-huh.
Father who only wears the birthday present his daughter gave him for a few moments as he is leaving the house. Person who was about to be late for work, but then their train got delayed, and now they are taking their time since they got a proof of delay ticket from the station. Like, just... Oh, and then this last great one. Store cashier who is forced to wear some stupid sort of cosplay for every single holiday. And I just think that's so great.
That's fun.
I'd liken it kind of like to our meme costumes, like when people go dressed as deviled eggs, you know, and they're like an egg with devil horns or stuff like that. I think that's fun.
You say things like that, and then I'm like, oh, wow, you are getting up there in age. And it's...
What does that mean?
I don't think any kid would be like, oh, it's a deviled egg. Ha 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 ha. That's so cute.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Instead
so
of just
fun.
wearing cat ears and lingerie, like, you can get creative, you know?
Yeah. Deviled egg.
Deviled egg.
So cute.
Great couples costume.
Mm-hmm. You get to be the slut cat, and I get to be the devil egg. Yeah. What are you guys? Confused? Oh.
You're confused. I'm fucking confused, bro. And then something... Okay, so I kind of talked about something similar before on the podcast.
Well, we're done with that subject then.
No, so, like, I talked about the, like, hair dye effect and how it can show you if a recession's coming, because there's an uptick in dark hair dye sales compared to blonde, because it's easier to maintain, it's cheaper. So, like, when the economy is bad, more people dye their hair dark colors instead of light colors. I learned
Yeah, I think I'll dye my hair something dark. It'd be nice.
Why not? But I meant, like, women, usually.
Wow. Thanks for assuming.
But you can do it.
Nope, that's fine.
But so this week I learned that there is a similar effect with lipstick in recessions. And basically, the more lipstick people buy is indicative of a recession because it's like a small luxury. You know, it's like $5 to $7 for a lipstick usually. So it's not going to break your bank, but it's still a little fun something you can buy and like show your personality, but it's not like $600 worth of, you know, getting your hair done or buying a lot of brand new makeup or things like that. Like you can buy a lot of lipstick for really cheap. So this person was talking about it, and there's whole studies done in this subject. I think
I
that's
think
really
you can
cool.
go into most subjects, not just like makeup. Like we studied bread and found out people bought more bread because it's cheaper and easier to
Well, I
self-stabilize.
wonder,
And like,
like,
yep, no shit. Like, it's
well,
why did we need a whole study on that? I feel like there's easier things to be studying that could pay off better for mankind, rather than like, hey, people buy cheap things when it's hard times.
yes, I'm begging
Yup,
researchers to give a fuck about
crazy.
women's healthcare and study women's health.
Did you see the push they had to redesign the seatbelt in cars to design them for women?
Because they typically end up injuring women.
Yeah, they're not designed for women's safety.
Neither are car
Crazy.
seats in general. Like a lot of women have to pull their car seats up because typically they're shorter. And then they're more likely to get injured in an accident because of it, because they're closer to the wheel.
It's either that or you're just driving badly.
I'm not a bad driver. I haven't got into accidents that needed my airbags.
Did you like that little disclaimer on the end that said airbags? How many accidents have you been in, ma'am?
3?
Wow, I like the question mark on the end. She didn't know if that last one where she drove away counted.
I did not drive away. I would never do that. The last one was when I hit that guy's car outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
And he was literally right there just watching me do it.
He watched her hit a parked car, and he's like, "Bro, what the fuck?"
Literally all
and then she got out, and he's like, "That makes sense."
Literally, this man just looked at me and he was like carrying coffee and shit. And he goes, "You just hit my car." Like he was like in shock, you know? He was like, "You hit my car."
He was in shock because he couldn't believe that you would keep driving after you
He's
initially hit it.
Him watching
Like,
me almost have a panic attack. I'm really sorry.
oh, you
okay,
hit my
this
car.
bitch is just dumb. Okay.
Mhm.
He was really nice about it. And we had the same insurance, so it was fine. But
I mean, same insurance or different, doesn't matter. Your insurance is paying that shit.
But then at work, everybody was like, "Why didn't you give him a free drink?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna let him know I fucking work here. What if he tries to sue me or something because he thinks I got money?"
Does he come back to that store since then?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell him next time I see him.
I'm at a different store now, so it's great.
Yeah, I moved because I didn't want to talk to him.
Okay. And then in something that has surprised absolutely nobody, do you know, I think I've talked to you a little bit about it before. I don't know if you remember it by name. Do you remember McCamey Manor?
Who?
McCamey
Is
Manor?
that the one where they're like, here, sign this waiver. It's a haunted house, and he just tortures people?
Yeah. It's literally
okay.
not a haunted house. It is straight up
just
torture.
straight up him torturing
He
people.
will not stop. People have almost died. Like, people have severe trauma. But they thought it was like a great deal because he would just donate food to it. He just asked that you bring dog food to donate to his dogs. Probably because he's a psychopath and is getting off on the torture. He doesn't actually need money.
Yep.
But so, in a
Anyway.
move that surprises nobody, he got arrested the other day for domestic assault
What? Crazy.
and attempted murder.
Crazy.
So, maybe we will finally be rid of that evil in the world, but
I don't know why people kept going. People were like, I could survive it. And you're like, why would you survive? Like, why would you willingly be like, yeah, I could survive being tortured for a whole day where no one's going to stop him?
well, because he gives everybody a safe
no.
word.
Yeah,
But then
he
before people
ignores
knew,
it.
yeah, exactly, he ignores it. But before people knew, before it all came out, they were just like, "Oh, I want to see if I can survive getting tortured, and I'll just safe word when I don't want to be in it anymore." Which was not the case. He was just straight up fucking with people,
Yeah.
like making them eat their own vomit. And
They,
crazy
like one of
shit.
them was like he was almost drowning people in
Yeah.
like vomit and shit, and they're like, "What chance do you even have to say a safe word?" Like they'd try and he'd just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense," and just keep going. You're like, "All right, well,
Yeah, so I mean,
Like-
personally, not for me.
it shouldn't be for anybody."
Regular
Like,
scary
why are you doing
haunted
that?
houses are good. You know, why would you want to almost die going through one? That's like
you
a scary
wanna
movie.
you wanna find out how torture works? Just go to North Korea. They'll probably be a little bit nicer, and then you come back and you're like, eh.
I've learned a lot about North Korea in the past few weeks. I've been watching some true crime videos.
Oh yeah, not like submitting applications to go. Okay, I'm just making sure.
No, so one of the
You don't
stories is Kim Jong Il the current leader?
Remember 10 seconds ago when she said she's learned a lot?
I'm just trying to make sure I have the wrong name.
Doesn't
I'm not saying the
know
wrong thing.
who's in charge.
His brother was mysteriously murdered in the middle of an airport years ago. But the way that they did it, trying to not get it back to like North Korea, like not be connected to them, and they still haven't proved like the official connection. There's just like small strings. They hired these girls to do prank videos, and
Which airport was it? Was it in North Korea?
no, it's in it was like in China.
I was like, I was like, if you get killed in North Korea,
No, it was like he had been living abroad for a really long time, and I guess they just didn't want to.
They were like, "You're a traitor, bye."
Yeah, but because he was very vocal about disagreeing with how North Korea was ran.
Oh yeah, it's because anybody who leaves there and sees the outside world is like, "Holy shit, it's not everything they told me was a lie."
But
like,
basically, these men hired these girls and told them they were going to do prank videos, and they would have them like go and smear stuff on people's faces and like just do random things in public. And they had all these test runs. It was great, and then they had him prank Kim Jong Il's brother.
Just smear him with poison.
So the first one smeared him with the first liquid. The second liquid, there's a specific name for it. I don't remember, but it's a military grade weapon that basically when you combine these two liquids, it creates a deadly poison. And the thing is, he goes so they smear him on the face. He's like, oh, washes up, goes to the like medical thing at the airport because he doesn't realize what it is. He had the antidote in his bag with him to that specific poison.
Yeah.
But he didn't know it was that. And so he died real quick.
Crazy.
But, yeah. No, I would not go to North Korea.
I'm glad you threw that in at the air as a little disclaimer. Like, please, FBI man, don't do it to me.
I am a woman. There was another one where these, like, college students hijacked a plane because they wanted to go to North Korea.
You'll have fun.
And now they're in North Korea chilling.
I don't know about the word chilling, but yeah.
No, fun. Literally, like, there's this compound with all these mansions and shit in it that they live in, and they sell secrets to Korea because they're from, like, China, I think.
Oh, brother. I saw, we've been playing, like, Warframe, right? And I noticed it on there, and it caught me off guard. But every day when you log in, it's like, hey, here's your reward for logging in today, right? It gives you, like, some credits or some, like, in-game currency or whatever it is, right? Did you know that in China, daily login rewards are banned in video games?
Why?
And luck-based like loot systems are also banned. So like the random boxes or like the random packs of like cars that unlock skins or whatever, they're also banned.
I mean, that makes sense.
Because they had too many people that were addicted to playing the games every day, and logging in every day was causing problems. Same with the loot-based systems. It was too close to gambling, and so many people got addicted to it and were spending so much money on it to essentially gamble on these games that China was like, nah, we're not doing that anymore.
And
that's
a pretty severe social problem if the government had to address it.
I mean, you look at it and everybody like a new game gets announced and everyone's like, oh, it sucks, it's gonna have microtransactions, blah blah blah. You know why it has microtransactions? Because they fucking work. All right,
they're looking for whales.
Because it works. Like, people buy that shit. And you're like, you're gonna spend $60 on a game, or if they give you Warzone for free and you know it's $2 for this and $1 for that and $5 for this, you're much more likely to buy $80-$90 worth of stuff than you would be just the $60 game and forget about it. Like, the industry itself is crazy. Like Candy Crush.
Oh my god.
Candy Crush is free.
It's like the biggest game in the world.
Candy Crush is free. You download Candy Crush, it's free. There's the amount of microtransactions that they get, it rivals like most AAA game studios in the US. Like, they make enough of money. I think per quarter they make like $27 or $28 million just for microtransactions. They don't even put out new games. People just buy shit on Candy Crush for 99 cents. Like, there's 8 billion people in the world. You say like 10% of people are playing the game, right? Let's just quick math it, right? You have, what is that, 80 million people, something like that? 8 million, 80 million, something, I don't know, math-wise. But like, if all of them spend 99 cents, because everyone's more likely to spend 99 cents on something, shit, that company's just made, $80 million and they have less than whatever percent of the population doing it.
It still has a fan base of over 250 million users who play it more than once a month and continue to add levels to the game.
That's what I'm saying. So 250 million, right? Let's do that. And then like I said, even if half of them spent 99 cents once a month, in that month, that company's made $125 million.
Yeah, and I will
Like,
say
it's
Candy Crush
it's
does it
crazy.
right.
Like, fuck.
Like, this can sound strange, but Candy Crush has one of the better pricing models I've seen. Because I like to play some of those games, you know, like Project Runway, where it's kind of the same thing, you know, where you match stuff, but it has more to the game.
Yeah.
But in those other games, it's like crazy fucking expensive to buy one of those packs. Like, it'll be like, oh, if you
It's like 10,
spend
15, $20.
$15,
Like,
you get 3 little boosters. But in Candy Crush, it's like you can get a whole pack of shit and it'll last you a month.
yeah, and it's $1, $2 maybe, and they can get away with it because, like I said, even if a quarter of the people bought a $1 pack in a month, it's still, you know, I'm like, shit, you're still getting $60 million that month, like fucking. And you know what it is? They go, oh, cool, we just have to use the same code that we're already using. Like, there's nothing new about it. They're just maintaining it. And you're like, okay.
But I mean, I've never been so addicted to a game that it's all I did, you know?
Not even all I did. It doesn't have to be. That's the point. Like, you could play Candy Crush for like a week, and during that week, if you're like, oh man, I really wanted to beat this level, and it'll cost me 99 cents to get more lives right now, you spend 99 cents on it because you're like, yeah, I can afford $1 on this game. Well, you're one of 50 million people that thinks that way, and now they have $50 million. Like, that's it. That's
those games, I've stopped spending money on those types of games because if you just stop playing for a few weeks and go back on, they always give you a gift. They're like, oh, we missed you.
Oh, yeah,
Here's a
and
bunch
they'll
of
give
free
you
shit.
stuff.
And I'm like, sweet, now I can get past
to
that
get
level.
you that back interested in. Yeah, that's what it is. Because like you spend $1 on it, and then a week later you never play it again. Well, they still got $1 from you, and they still have 250 million people who every once in a while will give them $1. So like, why why put microtransaction in there? Because they work. Candy Crush is an extreme example, but a lot of games.
Gotcha gaming's gotten real
A
popular.
lot of games. You want to look slightly cooler because you got electricity on you? That's $1. That's $2, whatever it is. And you're like, I can afford $2 on this game. Okay.
That shit works because if I was playing nothing but Call of Duty, for example, oh my god, I'd have like the tricked out outfits and pink guns and sparkles and like when you shoot people and it explodes and turns pretty colors, like I'd have that. Like I would be a menace to society.
And again, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't make you more likely to win.
It
just looks cool.
You have
all right. Yeah.
I remember I played your Call of Duty the other day while you were at work, and
you went to like my matches.
So I tried to play Warzone. God, it's like everybody on there is fucking professional now. Like,
yeah,
like I just want to play to have fun, and I can't have fun. I just get my shit wrecked.
It's so competitive. It's
but
crazy.
The two people who joined my team had the coolest fucking outfits, and then there was like you in the middle, just dressed as a little soldier.
just dressed, yeah, I'm like regular soldier number
wearing, like,
B, and you're like,
had like female skins with like all this crazy shit all over it, and I was like, wow, you look cool.
Nope. I said the coolest I looked in Call of Duty was when I was when I had some codes to test things, and that's about it. After that,
I can't remember which game it was. It had zombies. It was a few years ago.
That's a good description there. Yeah.
I can't remember which Call of Duty it was, but it was like the zombies where they just come at you over and over again, and like
as opposed to the ones that sit down and have tea with you.
You had to turn on like power and like transport different places, and then there was like a thing you could do to unlock special events where everything would turn to like water or something, and then you would go and try to find the weapons. I don't know which Call of Duty it was. I used to play it with my sister. I had really cool guns in that. I unlocked them from playing zombies so much.
Yeah, but again, that's from playing. Like, you can unlock it. You're like, okay.
See,
that's the same thing when
that option. Like, you can buy it, but
yeah,
you can also
it's the option. But there's a balance between it. Like when Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out, people were pissed at that one because there were so many microtransactions, and EA responded with, "Well, you can still earn it. You can still earn the rewards." And you're like, yeah, to earn like. I think it was like Darth Vader. To unlock Darth Vader, you could either buy him like right out the bat, or you would have to play for almost like I think it was like 800 hours to unlock him. Like if you did everything perfect, it would take almost 800 hours to unlock him. People were like, "This is crazily unbalanced. Like you have such limited."
I've got one game
I'm
with that
like,
many hours in it. I could
it
not
was
imagine.
crazy. And then like for the whole game, it was close to like 2,000 something hours for like all the content. And you're like, this is
Did they
ridiculous.
fix it?
Like, I have no idea. I've played it like once or twice, and then I was like, nope, this is okay.
Is that the game where we got
But
the
like,
sense of pride and achievement from? Yeah, that is where that saying came from.
what is it?
Because people were bitching about the microtransactions and like everything being paid for, and then the developers came back and they were like, "Oh, well, you'll have a sense of pride and accomplishment if you do all those hours."
Yeah.
And now
okay.
everybody makes that as a joke constantly. They're
Pride
like,
and accomplishment.
"Oh, okay, pride and accomplishment."
Yeah. Oh, remember we were playing Warzone and I was trying to get those 200 headshots for that achievement.
Yeah.
It popped like yesterday, like 2 days after we were playing. It was very weird. Like I was on my computer and a notification from Xbox popped up that said I got the achievement, and I'm like, I don't even have an Xbox that's turned on right
You're
now.
like, okay,
But
great.
okay, like sure if you say so.
And then the only other thing I put down this week was some sad news from Texas. Chewy's has been bought out by Darden Restaurants. I guess Chewy's has been struggling since COVID, and like they're not making as much as they were.
Yeah.
And Darden has bought them out. So
Why is that sad news?
they're just.
You like most of the Darden restaurants. We still go to a lot of them.
I like Olive Garden.
Yeah, and Yard House, we go there.
They're
Like,
just like cookie cutter, you know.
what does that mean? Olive Garden and Yard House are nothing like each other.
I mean, like
What,
like they
what
just.
are you talking about right now?
I feel
Which
like,
part is upsetting you?
I feel like it's currently owned, you know, like it's owned locally right now. And now it's just getting bought out by a big company, and it's kind of sad.
Okay, so you're sad for capitalism, not sad for the fact that okay, no other fact.
And they'll
just
probably change a
capitalism.
lot of their
Okay.
food because like Darden restaurants get everything delivered like pre-made. So like Chewy's, I guess a lot of the problem is that some of their things take 2 to 3 hours to make because they're making it from scratch.
I now see the sad part would be in this whole scenario, the food quality is going to go down.
Yeah,
It's not
that's what
going
I'm
to be
trying
as
to say.
good.
I'm sorry.
It's not. No, that's not what you said.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You sucked at that. The food quality will go down because they got bought out. Yes, I agree. That is sad news. I liked their chimichangas. They were good. Thanks.
I'll get you more.
In case anyone missed it, she grabbed my cup, drank all my water, and then tried to hand me back an empty cup. Was just like, this was good. Take the cup, bitch. Like, all right, cool. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the water.
Yeah, whatever. So I got car news. I get okay, so my
Back up.
my car was stolen at the beginning of June of this year, right? And it's been so long that the insurance company was like, "Hey, it's been gone for, over a month. We're going to write it off as a total loss. We'll start processing the payment." And I was like, "Okay, sounds good." So I was waiting on that to happen. Well, a few days ago, and then I bought a new car, to do that. So I've been waiting on the registration and the plates from the dealership for the new car. So a few days ago, I get a call that says, "Hey, your plates and your registration are here. Come pick them up." I said, "Okay, I'll pick them up on Saturday." They said, "Okay, sounds good. See you then." So I was like, "Cool, this is good. Like, life is moving forward." And then, like Wednesday night, I got a text that says, "Hey, this is the police department. We've found your stolen vehicle. It's at this impound lot. Come get it." And I was like, awesome. Now I have this to deal with because we're not moving next week. So I called the insurance and I was like, "Hey, the police found my vehicle. It's at this location." He's like, "Okay, good. Contact them and see what they need and then go pick it up." And I was like, "Okay, good." So I called the tow place and I was like, "Hey, I'm available to come pick up the car today. Can I come pick it up and take it wherever?" And he over the phone told me, "Oh, no one's there today. But do you have insurance on the vehicle?" I said I did. Yeah, or I do, still technically. And he goes, "Okay, well, you're gonna need your insurance to come down and tow the vehicle to a repair shop or to wherever they're gonna tow it." And I was like, "So I can't pick it up myself?" And he goes, "No, your insurance will have to pick it up."
Did he say why?
I was like, "Okay, I'll let them know." So I sent that to my insurance. I'm like, "Man, hopefully this gets solved quickly because I'm not gonna live here for much longer." But whatever. So we'll see how that goes. But I was like, all of a sudden, last minute bullshit that happened. And then the most bizarre part of all of that, I went to the dealership to pick up my plates. And the dealership online, it says they open at 7. I got there at 7:30. The front door was open. I walked in. There was no one inside. Not a single person. I was like, everyone's desks just open. There's music playing. I like all the offices were open. I'm like, did they all die? Like, what happened this morning? And so finally, I just was standing there and I was yelling, hello. I'm like, is
Were
anyone?
you really?
Yeah, I was like, hello, is anyone here? And then I didn't hear anything back. It was like I was in a horror movie, but it was broad daylight. I'm like, all right, am I gonna
Yeah, it
get
always feels
jumped?
like you're not supposed to be somewhere when it's empty, you know? It's
I was like, am I gonna
oh.
get jumped? Like, what the fuck's happening right now? So I walked over. I just started walking through the hallways because I was like, no one's here. There's no signs that say like employees only. I didn't walk in people's offices, but I was just walking through hallways. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on around here. Till finally I see a light on in one of the offices, and I was like, let me go into this office. So I get closer to it, and it's a glass office, like you can see inside. And I didn't see the name, but it said fleet manager. And I was like, all right, well, he's got it. And there's a dude sitting in there. I was like, well, he's got to be someone important or the murderer. So let me walk in here. I said, hey, good morning. He goes, hey, what's going on? Do you need, like, you looking for sales or can we help you with something? And I'm just here to pick up my plates, but there's no one else in the building. So I don't know what's going on. It said y'all open at 7. Is that not true? He goes, oh, yeah, no, we open at 7. The sales staff, I think they're in around 8 usually. I'm not sure when they're coming in, but the receptionist, she's usually here around 7:30. I'm not sure who unlocks that front door, if it just stays unlocked all night when we leave. I was like, are you sure you're the manager?
You sell cars here. Like
I was like, okay. And then I walked over, right? Waited like 5 minutes. The receptionist walked in, walked past me, didn't say anything. I was just sitting in one of the chairs in front of the desk so I could, stay within eyesight of her and whatever. She walks over to the desk. She starts setting things up. She's plugging in keyboards. I was like, I'll give her a few minutes to get set up. I don't want to be a person standing there waiting for her to get set up.
Get your shit together, lady.
So like 5 minutes go by. I see her. She's stopped like setting things up at this point. And I was like, okay, I'll go talk to her now. So I stand up. Still hasn't said a word to me. I stand up. I walk over to her. I said, hi, good morning. And she said, oh, were you here for me? Well, I wasn't here to watch TV all day. And I was like, well, I'm here to pick up my plates. Is that you? And she goes, oh, yeah, that's me. And I was like, okay, well, can I get the plates then? And she's like, oh, yeah, what's your name? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. So I gave her my name, which she misspells it apparently because she looking through her system. She goes, I'm not finding it. Until finally I spell it out for her like a 4th time. She's like, oh, here it is. I was like, okay. And then she turns around to this filing cabinet, which was unlocked. She just pulls it open, and there's hundreds of license plates in there that are organized by last name. And I was like, shit, if I knew they were in there, I'd have just taken mine and left. Like, this is like, why did I was there for almost like 20 minutes, 25 minutes waiting for her to show up
what
and
time are
talk
they
to me.
supposed to actually open?
Their website says 7.
How come everybody's websites are wrong
open.
lately?
No, the door was open at 7. The guy, the fleet manager, was like, yeah, it should be 7, but I think receptionist gets here at 7:30 and sales gets here around 8. And I'm like, so fuck your hours? Like, what?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just make your hours 8 then?
Yeah, or at least 7:30 when the receptionist I was like, all right, whatever, man. Anyway, so she misspells my name 4 times. I finally get her to give her the right name. She turns around, grabs the plates. She turns around again, backs to me, and she sets it down, and she grabs like this little logbook to fill out like who's signing for plates, right? And then she goes, oh, I'll need your driver's license. And I was like, why didn't you start with that so you didn't have to go back and forth on this how do you spell your name bullshit? Because it's not like she just used it to fill out the paperwork. She took it, used it to fill out the paperwork, and then she scanned it because she went beep and it scanned it. And I was like, why didn't you do that to begin with?
Yeah.
If you didn't, I was like, you're dumb. I'm like, you wasted both my time and yours. I'm like, all right, whatever.
She's like, I'm not awake yet. I don't know.
And then I walked out and went back home and put my plate on. And I was like, all right, well, that's fucking, I don't know. I thought that was so weird. I'm like, the door's open. No one was there. I was like, They have a coffee machine in the corner. I was like, should I just take some coffee? Like, what if I start breaking shit? Because I was also looking around. There was like one camera and it was facing like towards the lobby. And I'm like, I can just walk past the camera and break some shit, walk back.
As far as
like,
you know, so like at Target, for example, they have like tiny microscopic eye level cameras you can't see, but they can see every angle of everything you do.
Either way, but I was like, shit, it doesn't look like cameras are in here. That guy told me that the fucking thing's open most nights, apparently. I'm like, God damn, y'all are just really trusting, huh? All right. Especially if that filing cabinet's open, where you can just be like, oh, look at all these license plates I
Yeah.
can just take.
Especially if you know it's there. You start selling license plates to people.
Yeah, not even that. Like, shit, you're a criminal already. Now you got fake plates to put on like most of your cars. Fuck it. Like, God damn.
I mean, some criminals would pay a lot for some fake plates.
They're not fake plates. They're real plates. It's just,
Or like stolen plates.
yeah.
Well, we hope you liked this episode of Mindless Prattle. Ow. Why'd you do that?
I'm waiting.
For what?
The outro.
If you liked what you heard, follow us all over on YouTube and Kick and the other 60 trillion websites we barely go on. That's Jordan, the annoying one, and I'm Ripley, the amazing one. Thanks for listening, and you have a great day.
Wow,
Goodbye.
Ripley the liar over here.